Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you guys for tuning into the vlog, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the E36 M3. Kind of a cost analysis, a breakdown, if you will, kind of beast for build style. What did it cost to build this car from start to finish? You don't want to miss out, so stay tuned. You want to build yourself a Rocket Bunny E36 M3, you got to ask yourself a few questions. What are you building it for? You're building it for a show? You're building it for your personal weekend car? You're building it to be judged up close and personal? You really need to decide these things before you set your budget up for the build that you're trying to set up. Originally, when I set out to do this build, I wasn't thinking about showing the vehicle. I wasn't thinking about anything pertaining to being judged. And as we all know, that kind of changed. My original plan was not to paint the car. I was going to stay black, and if you're planning to stay within a budget, that definitely can change your budget quite a bit. So we're going to do basically a cost analysis from start to finish, showing you guys where I spent the money, where I could have saved money, and where you might possibly save some money where I didn't. Alright guys, so I want to start off with the obvious. Obviously, this video is about the Pandem kit, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the kit. As you guys know, I did not purchase the authentic kit, but however, I did pick up this kit from DTM Fiberworks. They make pretty high quality fiberglass and polyurethane hybrid kits. You've seen all the ads where individuals are standing on the kits and they're basically flexing. I don't know how authentic and how real that actually is. I wouldn't dare do that to this kit, but that's where I purchased the kit from. Now, you can go all out and spend the $4,000 it costs to buy the original kit. But as we all know, I originally was building this car for tracking purposes, and there was just no way I was going to spend my whole budget basically on the kit itself just to go track and beat on it. Let's just face it, we can't all be TJ Hunt, right? So that leaves the question, how much did I actually spend on this kit? It has relatively good fitment, and I only really seem to have issues with really just one fender, which I took care of myself. I paid a grand total of about $1,200 for this kit at the time. Now there are some more inexpensive kits out there that claim to be of the same quality, but I personally wouldn't spend my money on anything less than what I did here. I wouldn't personally spend more than $1,200 on this kit. And there's a few reasons for that. One of the things that you have to take under consideration when you're purchasing these kits is that if you don't have the aptitude in order to fix any of the imperfections that these kits actually come with, because they are copies, then I wouldn't recommend you buying one of the kits that actually is of lesser quality. And of lesser quality, by that I mean imperfections, that means divots, that means pitting in the kits, anything that's going to cost you a little bit extra, anything that's going to cost you a little bit more time when it comes to prepping on the kit, I personally wouldn't spend my money on. Just have a professional finish the kit for you, and you can probably come up with a little better results. But then again, if you have somebody taking care of the body work for you, there goes some of your budget money there. Ever copied anything on a copy machine? That's probably everybody at this point. You probably know that eventually if you copy something over and over and over, eventually you're going to have some imperfections. Well, it's the same thing with these kits. This kit was obviously molded off the original Pandem kit, and as the companies that start to try to make this kit, they basically get their hands on the mold. They're probably molding it off one of the copied kits, and you can imagine how far downhill it goes from there. As you make a copy of a original copy, unless it was a legitimate copy from the beginning, you're probably going to have some type of issues. Now, this kit here, there was no exception. There's actually only one troublesome area, and that was this fender over here. And you guys know that I dedicated whole episodes to this actual fender, and actually, once I fixed the actual issue, it's pretty much unnoticeable. There was a dip on this side here, which is slightly visible now, but it was a lot worse before, and that is a common issue on a lot of the cheaper kits. As you could probably imagine, Pandem is pretty secretive when it comes to the specs of their kit, but anybody with a high school degree can basically figure out that these over fenders, these box fender flares that this car actually is equipped with now, are 50 millimeters over in the front and 70 in the rear. Using basic math, you can basically determine how much offset, how much wheel you're going to need to run in order to outfit this kit properly. As you guys can see here, I am running the Cosmos XT006Rs and the 5x114 bolt pattern. I'm running a 20mm spacer on the front to give me an offset of -10, and the wheel is a 9.5-inch wheel. Way to the rear, I'm running an 18x11, same 5x114 bolt pattern, and I'm running a 285/30-inch tire on the rear. Now, I ran this size tire, was being very conservative. Technically, a 285 is too small for an 11-inch rim, so I could probably use a much beefier, much more aggressive tire. So we will be going with a more aggressive tire setup for the next setup. The wheels, adapters, and tires has set me back about $1,800. Now, I am currently running a kind of budget-minded sport tire, a Nanking NS2, which is currently unavailable in any other tire size than a 285. So I am running Nanking NS2s up front, and I'm running the sports in the front. This next thing is probably one of the more controversial things. Since my vehicle did not come with this beautiful British racing green, I pretty much decided that I wanted to paint the car a different color. I felt like black would hide the lines of the kit, the oversized dimensions that the car actually has now. I feel like it really would have been lost with the black, so I painted the vehicle in OEM British Racing Green. That's a paint code of 312. Not to mention, I actually had this special order, which actually added to the build time. The paint actually set me back a grand total of about $450 for enough paint to paint this vehicle with a little bit of paint left over for touch-up. On the list, we did install the Bride Lomax seats. Now these seats here, whether they're authentic or not, they were still a bit pricey for the budget. As far as budgeting is concerned, you don't actually have to spend the money on racing seats. It's just an added touch that I wanted to add just to kind of give this vehicle the Rocket Bunny vibe. And these seats set me back about $700 USD shipped to my door. And moving on to the steering wheel, you guys saw I did install a OMP steering wheel that I found out later on that actually wasn't an actual authentic one. Make sure you guys, when you guys are buying things on eBay, you find out the authenticity early on before you spend the money, because I did spend a good amount of money, but I definitely didn't spend what I should have spent, and it should have been a red flag there. As you can see, this is not an OMP steering wheel. This is actually an authentic Sparco steering wheel with Alcantara on it. It's definitely smaller than I'm normally used to having on my car, but it's definitely giving me kind of a different vibe, and it has no offset on it, which is giving me a lot more leg room and space when it comes to these hard mounted seats that I have in the car right now. Now, I don't know how long this is going to stay here. I might end up selling this, so if anybody's interested, leave me a comment down below and I will shoot you some information on how you can pick this up from me. Moving on to the shifter, that is a Click Tuning body mounted, chassis mounted shifter. I purchased that for the vehicle a long time ago. If you're not familiar with it, I will leave some information down in the description down below. Basically, it removes your whole linkage system, and this shifter assembly is a lot like the CAE shifters. It mounts to the chassis, and it gives you kind of a bolt action shotgun feel when it comes to shifting gears. It's very notchy, and I love it. And it's adjustable. You can adjust the height to give you a shorter throw or a longer throw. This was a last minute addition. I picked up some depot glass headlights, the Euro style with the angel eyes in them. That are actually not hooked up now, but I wanted to give the car kind of a more Euro feel to it. These will set you back and upwards of $250 to $280. And then, of course, in perfect being reduced fashion, I did not spend that. But I'm going to give you guys a fair market value on these, because not everybody's going to be able to find the deals that I find. And you guys know that I don't mind buying used if it's still taken care of. One of my favorite things that I saved on has to be this spoiler. I can't take all the credit. I have to give the credit to my friend Gavin from Treats on the Streets. He picked this thing up from China. Unfortunately, they couldn't match the paint code, but it shipped to my door in a matter of a week and a half, and it only cost me about $59 unpainted. Now, I had it painted locally with the paint that I had left over, and they matched it perfectly, and it's the perfect height for a convertible. Since the convertible trunk is a lot longer, a lot sleeker than the coupe, I feel like the less height than the Rocket Bunny spoiler really adds to the over essence and the elegance that the body lines still have. Now, obviously, this one is optional. You guys know that I installed Porsche 996, or actually we found out 986 Boxster S calipers on this vehicle, and I'll leave the prices right here down below. Last but not least, the suspension. This has to be the number one thing that everyone forgets about when it comes to trying to build this kit. I'm actually running BC coilovers with extreme low Swift spring setups. Simply for the simple fact that we had to cut so much material out of the vehicle. Putting the kit on the car required me to actually lower the body of the vehicle another 3.5 inches. That is an extreme amount, given the fact that my car was pretty low to begin with. The car sits right now, I am currently not even running a spring perch in the rear. That was the only way I was able to achieve this actual wheel setup right here and this actual ride height. You can purchase a Swift Springs setup for your vehicle if you already have BC coilovers, which I actually had, and that'll set you back another $450. Guys, there you have it. The grand total is around $6,100. It's very funny to say it out loud that way. I didn't think that I spent that much, and honestly, I probably could have spent the money a lot differently. It's probably a different vehicle, whole different vehicle. So, but what's done is done, and I am happy with the build, guys. So, for those of you guys out there wondering what it costs to build the car, you don't have to spend what I spent, but if you wanted to get it to kind of this level here, you're going to have a little money saved up. Obviously, there's some audibles, some things you don't necessarily have to spend money on that I did, but hey, I wanted to make mine original since there are a lot of these cars starting to pop up now. So hopefully that just helps one of you guys out there that's actually thinking about doing this kit legitimately. I wanted to give you guys a good idea since there are no build breakdowns on this car. And now that there's a few more of these cars rolling around the streets, before you guys jump to conclusions and jump on the bandwagon and start bashing these guys out there that are doing budget builds, deciding not to purchase the original kit. Obviously, I do understand the controversy surrounding the authentic kit versus the non-authentic, and I make a point to make sure that I mention that this is not the authentic kit. This is for reference, and hopefully anybody out there going to purchase the authentic kit can benefit from this video. They can see some of the mistakes that I made and maybe not make the same mistakes. So I wanted to build this car for myself, and it was for me based off my budget. So whatever your budget may be, hopefully all my videos have helped you guys out from start to finish. If there are anything you guys want to see, some more update videos, some little close-up things for how I finished some stuff on the car. I know there was some questions about how I waterproofed and the welding and stuff that didn't make it to a video. Let me know down in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that alert button so you can be alerted. I want to upload a new video and also want to upload another vlog, guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching the channel. The continued support is really helping the channel out. We are growing really fast, so let's try to get to 9,000 subscribers before the end of the year, guys. So again, thank you guys for watching the Beamer Dude channel, and as always, peace out and Godspeed, guys.